Hi.
I never know how to start these things.
Yeah,
This is episode 3, so welcome, and we hope you enjoy it.
So we didn't realize we weren't recording earlier, but anyway, I'm still going to jump to the next topic.
I did, but I was enjoying.
I didn't.
I was enjoying Sal's company and just like talking with him. So,
so in other news, I just finished my 2 quizzes for one of my aviation classes.
Oh, okay.
And that was the last thing I had left to do on my now hiatus of work and school. So I have a Starcraft 2, and it's actually downloading right now as we speak.
Sick. Is that
so
for the
PC?
Oh, you have a PC?
Just a laptop.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. You saw his face. It was
my desktop is just better. It's fine.
He was just like, oh.
No,
like,
what kind of laptop do you have?
An HP Spectre 360.
I know nothing of laptops, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Is it a gaming computer?
It cost me like $2,000. So
shit, that's the whole cost of my entire desktop.
Oh.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, it's pretty good. It does processing really fast. The only shitty part is my internet is slow, which is why it's taking so long to download.
Fun.
Like my internet here, I think is 17 megabytes per second.
I think we had 100 up, 100 down. I think.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and I was jealous.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I've been paying for 50 megabytes, but they said with my location, the best they could give me was 17.
What?
And I was like, oh.
Oh my
that
god.
doesn't seem fair. Okay.
What the hell?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting cheated.
Isn't the Cox store like down the street?
Oh, Cox is so much more expensive.
Oh, you're not doing Cox?
No, I went through AT&T.
Oh, that's
Cox,
why. Jesus.
Yeah, but Cox wanted me to pay $100 and something bucks for great speed. I'll give them that, but that was their lowest cost option.
You should call them and ask, because like
I did.
Well,
I had a whole conversation.
Like we're paying. Okay, so we started out paying $60 for more than what you're doing, and then recently they upped it to like $84.
Mm-hmm.
And then I called them and they're like, "Oh, sorry," and they bumped it back down to like $70, which isn't bad.
That's because they're terrible.
Yeah, but AT&T's fucking slow. Like,
yeah,
I'd rather have fast internet.
I know. It's not that bad because I live alone, so like I essentially only use it to watch Netflix on my TV.
Oh, that's fair.
And because like I have unlimited data on my cell phone, so I don't need it to like look at things online really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just sucks in this like particular instance, which if I had class today, I could have just downloaded it K-State, which is fast.
Oh, that's true.
So,
nice. Use their Wi-Fi to download it.
So it's not too bad.
That's funny.
But yeah. So I don't worry about it too much, and it's like way cheaper than, like I said, the Cox option. It was like $100 and something per month for essentially doing what I'm doing now anyway.
Jesus.
Versus paying, I paid $40 a month for this Wi-Fi, so it's like,
as long as you're not breaking the bank, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's so slow.
I'm honestly kind of thinking about canceling still because of how little I use it. I just know once I do, I'll be like, Netflix.
Wait, you can't
I can, but like I have to have internet access on the TV, that, or I have to like shoot up a hotspot through my phone, which is still going to be super slow. I've tried it.
I see.
So
you've got unlimited data?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
so,
good.
Like I typically watch YouTube on my phone because it's easier to scroll around. But like Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff I watch on my TV.
Since we have 2 people and she's on Netflix at the same time that I'm just working on the computer and using the internet, like it's worth the money.
Yeah.
But,
when I move, I will. But until then.
What do you think that's going to be? Do you have 2 years here, or is it?
No, it's just a 1-year lease.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so the lease is up in, I want to say it's the end of April.
Oh, but
actually.
when you're moving, you're not moving out of Salina.
No, I'm staying in Salina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How long do you have for school?
4 years.
Is it really 4 years? Okay.
Well, I was a biology major and I was only there for a year. And when I switched,
that's fair. Almost
all my biology class didn't transfer over. So shut up.
That's a bummer. Because I like, oh my God, I'm so high on the capture. Because like I did art, and so a lot of those classes transferred. So I just needed 2 years.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Mine was like,
so I'm gonna be.
I had 2 biology classes transfer over, and that was only because one of them technically counted as an introduction to college, like kind of like the one you were talking about you taking. That teaches you like PowerPoints and writing resumes.
Yeah.
I don't know why it counted as a biology class, but yeah,
Liberal arts
it did,
colleges, man.
so
I don't know.
whatever.
Those are the classes that I'll be. That one and like writing intensive religion class, or it's like a religious tolerance class.
Oh, I was like, how do you write? Like you're just starting your own religion?
No, like no, like right now we're reading a book, and it's called what's it called? The Reluctant Fundamentalist. It's about a man from Pakistan who's like in a bit what? Oh, is it not capturing?
Barely, yeah, like barely at all.
Shit. Let's do that because I moved it away because I like was peeking. Anyway, it's not, or it's about a man who is from Pakistan and he goes to America to like be in a business. Or like it's like I've kind of been spark noting it because I don't have time, but it's pretty good for what I have read. And he so while he's there, while he's being really successful at this business that analyzes the value of other businesses or something, 9/11 happens.
Really good job. Oh God.
Yeah, 9/11. Yeah, 9/11 happens, and then like. I won't spoil anything else, but that's just the premise.
I think
and
we
then
know what happened on 9/11, Ken.
Right. Well, everybody starts treating him differently, and I haven't finished it yet. But like so far, it's a good story, even though I've spark noted most of it because I just don't have time to read it. I've got other projects to do that are more important to my major.
So the one plus side of this weekend and everything that happened was I was given the gift of time. And so me and Bryce met halfway and we stayed up in Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma, wow. No, it's somewhere worse. Nebraska.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I was up there from Saturday to actually just like 3 hours ago.
Oh, nice.
And on my way back, it's like a 5-hour trip. And so for those 2 quizzes that I took, I had to read like the pilot's handbook manual, like chapter 1 and chapter 3.
An audiobook for that?
I found the audiobook was like $12 and I was like, fuck that. Yeah, right. $11.99, not even a solid 12.
Oh my God.
And I was like, nope. So I searched it on YouTube and there was like an hour and 44-minute video of it. And so yeah, no, it's
is it pretty dull, I imagine? It's not a page turner.
That was just chapter 1.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had to take
hour
and 44 minutes, Ken.
Oh my God.
I wound up taking breaks in between those videos and I didn't even bother doing it for chapter 3. I couldn't. So like when I was taking the quiz, it's like an open notes one. So like I could have the pamphlet pulled up. And chapter 3, I didn't even bother reading it or listening because it was only like 11 pages long. But the first chapter, and like the person reading it read everything. So like when it was like, you could check out this at www. And he would read the whole thing and then he would do / backslash.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my fucking God. I was like, I would skip this if I was physically reading.
You'd just be like, okay, so
just like at this
there's a website here. You can read it. It's fine.
Exactly. I'd be like, okay, next sentence. No,
Oh my
this
God.
dude did not do that. And then every time it would be like, see figure this, he would say, see figure 1-11. And then he'd go to that figure, briefly describe it, which, is nice. Like he's being...
It's like a plane.
No. And then he'd be like, under the figure, it says as follows. And then he would read it. And I'm like, dude, move on.
Wait, you'd read like the figure name? Like figure,
do what?
what
he'd be like figure 1 point or 1 dash blah blah blah.
Picture.
And then he'd read the
same thing.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Oh my
It's so bad.
That's funny.
I was looking at it and I was like, there was only like 30 pages in the first chapter. And I had the playback speed on 1.25.
Oh.
So he would like pick up faster too. And it was still long as shit.
Oh my God. That's funny.
It was excruciating. Like I'm already driving through Nebraska. Like, come on.
These
Come on.
shitty roads and this shitty book. I can't.
I was just like, it was a brief second. I was like, I could just like yeet this wheel to the left really hard and just end it all.
Oh,
It's so bad.
That's funny. I didn't even think I should have found an audiobook for mine, but I was just like, I wouldn't pay attention.
Okay.
I'd be off doing something else while I was reading in the background. So I just got the gist of it from SparkNotes.
To be honest, it saved me because of my current situation, but for future, every chapter, I'm just gonna read it.
Mm-hmm.
It did not actually save me time. All it did was give me something to do on the drive backs, because like it was due today at 8 p.m. With everything going on, I didn't have time earlier this weekend to get it done. So I was like, okay, if I make it home, that only gives me 3 hours to read both chapters and take the quizzes. So I was like, shit. And so that's the only reason I even did it. Never again, though. Oh my god, never again.
Oh, I can't wait to be out of school. Not having to deal with that shit. It's ugh.
I saw probably the greatest meme ever. So in my math class, we have to get my math lab through the Pearson.com website thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no actual textbook. We have to order an access code to get onto my math lab to do homework.
Oh.
And then the teacher takes the grade we get in that and then applies it to our homework grade. And I thought it was pretty bad. And then I saw a meme that just justified basically everything I thought about. And it was just like having to pay $130 access code, which is pretty close to what mine was. I think it was like 120. Ridiculous, yeah.
Damn.
Just to do my homework is the biggest scam I've ever experienced.
Oh my god.
And I was like, yeah.
I've never had to do that. Holy shit.
It's stupid.
I bet. Like, fucking hand out a piece of paper for God's sake. Is the environment that important?
Oh my God. I don't understand. Like, it's really just for the convenience of the teacher, so she doesn't have to grade it, create problems. Like, none of that. She's just like, here, go do this.
Yes. Oh my god.
That, I mean, I'm not agreeing with it.
They're clearly like, it seems like they're just scraping for money. Like, I feel like if we had a better education budget in Kansas, things wouldn't be this bad.
Trickle down economics, Kent. It'll get here eventually.
Oh god. Yeah, when I'm dead.
Drip, drip.
Stick your tongue out. Catch it on your
God.
tongue.
So stupid. Oh wow, I just had deja vu. I think I said that to you before.
What, trickle down economics?
Yeah.
I've never heard you say that before.
I'm almost positive.
No, I hate deja vu. Isn't deja vu crazy?
Ah!
I've had such strong deja vu attacks where, like, I predict what's going to happen and it does. And I'm just like, whoa, this is so cool. And then it ends and I'm like, where did I even? And then I forget about it.
No, this is bad. Like, I only stopped to say deja vu. I already knew what I was going to say next. And I was, like, about to say it. And I was like, no.
I can't live this life again.
Like, because it was the whole drip, drip. And then I was going to say something, like, stupid and be like, oh, they should just open the whole faucet. Just, and I was like, I've said that before.
You probably said it to, like, Sammy or something.
No, Sammy's only been here once.
Well,
and I've never talked about, like, trickle down. No, because it was here. The only other thing I remember that's different from that time was that my feet were up here.
Nope, never heard you say it before.
That's wrong, but okay.
Okay. You know yourself better than me, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, how we started the video was I was just going to jump into the next topic, which was I downloaded Starcraft. I said that. Oh,
God, that was like 30 years ago.
I think I said that.
You did say that, and then we had a conversation about
that. Yeah, about my internet speed.
Yeah, we already did that.
It drifted immediately.
What the fuck is... What?
Like, I was going to talk about StarCraft.
Yeah.
And then instead, I was like, it's still downloading in the background.
Oh,
and then
we went off on a tangent. Yeah. Oh, okay.
And somehow it led here.
Supernatural, like, conversation flow. That's why we're doing this podcast, bro.
Jesus.
But no, so, okay, StarCraft. What about it?
So I was looking up, like, the races on there. I didn't realize it was only 3. So that's... Have you played StarCraft?
No, and I need to, because it's one of those games that if you're a game designer, you should probably check it out.
Well, if you want to play, the discs are right there. They're just downloading onto my
Am I able to do that?
I don't know.
Because I'll try it, if that's okay.
There you go. That's the correct answer.
Because I think it's... I bet it's not going to let me.
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, because, like, I know Xbox, I think Xbox has this thing where you can't share discs or, like, resell discs.
Well, It's different,
sucks.
like with the laptop, because like I know it was like this for Civ 5. I downloaded it, and now I don't have to have the disc in ever again.
Oh, okay.
So the disc, I believe, is just to download the game onto your computer.
Okay.
And then like for this, I already had to create an account through like the Blizzard website thing, because they do
right.
like World of Warcraft
I
and
already have one of
Starcraft
those.
and whatnot.
You know what? That actually makes me think that it definitely won't let me do it, but I will definitely try.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's downloading the game, but to access my game, like my profile, my game, I have to be logged into my Blizzard account. So that's why I'm thinking I could give you the game, you download the game, and then log into your Blizzard account, and you could just play it.
I'll have to try it.
You know what I mean now?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you want to play.
Okay. It's a strategy game, right?
Yeah,
It's like Age of Empires. You ever play that?
I don't know. I'm going to start, just you describe.
Age of Empires is like where you build up you're building up a city and you're commanding armies. You like select an army and you send them off to attack other villages.
Basically
and stuff.
like that. On like a fixed map.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, from what it looks like, I only got it because I used to play Warcraft way back when.
Did you play Warcraft?
I did. Never World of Warcraft. I played Warcraft when it was still like this.
Oh, like old Warcraft.
Yeah,
oh, damn.
where you'd be on like a map with like 4 different corners, and
Oh.
each corner you just build up your castle, and then.
Wait, are those two completely different games?
No, it was Warcraft, and then
game.
it led into World of Warcraft.
Okay,
so like World of Warcraft is like an open world,
right?
Playing with other players. This one was like just a map, and you played like a battle royale kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like 3 castles in each corner, and those you controlled one, and then you had 2 allies, and you guys all worked independently, but you had a little chat function, so you could kind of talk. And essentially, the goal was to build up troops between like the humans, the elves, the undead, and the orcs. And you got to pick which one you want to go through, and then build them up, and you run over to other castles and destroy them. So
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I got into RuneScape as a kid.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what RuneScape is? I wish Sammy was here. He knows what RuneScape is. But like it's
Okay.
it's like fuck you, man. I just god damn it. But no, RuneScape is like it's like a discount World of Warcraft. You can play it in your browser. It's really easy to play, and it's like you're in a fantasy world, and the way to move around is clicking where you go. And you should look it up. It's actually pretty fun. You might get addicted to it, especially since you have all this time on your hands now.
Shut up.
But like I wanted to play World of Warcraft after I played RuneScape, and like we went to a GameStop and I picked it out, and I was like, Mom, I want to buy this, and she was like, okay, and she was not very happy because like she didn't want me to just like spend my time playing video games, and now here we are, a game designer. But
no, she absolutely hates you.
She's very worried for me, to be honest. But no, so we went up to the counter, and my mom was like being a good mom at the time. I understand that now. She asked the guy, she was like, is this appropriate for my child? And the guy, with total honesty, was basically like, yeah, so he's going to play this and he's going to get super addicted to it. And so, like, he'll never put it down. And my mom was like, well, not getting it. And I was like, no. And I hated that clerk for the longest fucking time, because I was like, I wanted to play WoW. And later on, I was like, oh, yeah, he's just being, you know, he's right. I would have gotten addicted to it, and then my life would have gone down the tubes.
I just love how his biggest criticism was that the game was so good you'd get addicted.
Yeah, he definitely he sold it very well, and like if I would have gone in as a teenager, I would have been like, good, and I would have just taken it.
Amazing. I want to disappear.
I spent so many hours in RuneScape. Oh my god, and I can't like talk with you about it because you don't know anything about it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know nothing about Starcraft either, except that it's made by Blizzard.
I don't either, but I talked to Sammy about it because I was trying to debate between going to World of Warcraft or Starcraft, and I was pretty sure World of Warcraft wasn't like that.
World of Warcraft, also you have to spend like $15 a month.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm not doing
right.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst part about it. Like, it's terrible.
Well, see, and I remember the old Warcraft games, like the one that I played was called Footman Frenzy, so that was that battle style.
Oh, wow.
And so that's the one where there's like 4 castles built up, but those other ones like just a regular tower defense where you pick a hero and there's just like constant waves of enemies coming at and you just like kill them basically. And so like I knew it changed from that. I just wasn't sure if those subsets of gameplay were still in there. That's why I called Sammy. And he was like, "Oh no! If you're looking for that, you should go for Starcraft." So I've never played Starcraft before, but I've played games like it, so that's why I'm going to it. So I'm excited.
I definitely need to try it out. If you like Blizzard games, or at least if you, I don't know if you decide you like if you decide you like this Blizzard game, you should check out Overwatch. Do you like first-person shooters?
Ish.
I would say, okay, first-person shooter is a strong word or a strong phrase for that game. It's like you are in first person, you are shooting, but it's like more cartoony and it's super, super, super fun. I've got like 300 hours in it.
I more prefer the strategy based and kind of tower defense because it's like a mix of strategy and fighting.
Well, Overwatch is nothing like that, so never mind.
Like those games are fun, but I'm not necessarily good at it because it doesn't really engage me that much. It's more just like when I want to go like mind numb and just like go on a rampage. Yeah, and that's what I do. So like that's why I have Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like open world games. A lot of the games I have are open world. The most recent one made a redemption, or like the really, really big redemption story was No Man's Sky. Do you remember Sammy ever talking about that?
Yeah, it just completely flopped.
Yeah, it totally flopped when it came out, but now it is super fun and like
I hear that
they improved it and like it sucked that they lied pretty much about what was going to come out at launch. But when you look into the story, like they had their office flooded while they were making it, so they had to start from scratch. And then they were also being pushed by Sony to release it. And so like you kind of got to give them a little bit of leeway. But the thing is, they should have been like, hey guys,
be honest.
Yeah, they should have been honest about it, which is totally understandable. But to their credit, they stuck with it even after a shitty launch, and they kept working on it and kept trying to redeem themselves. And it is so much better now. It's so fun. It's slow, but it's addicting because I'll just sit there for 2 hours, and 2 hours will go by, and it'll seem like I haven't like made any progress on anything, but I'll have fun the whole time I'm playing it, and it's such a great game.
It's crazy.
My favorite open world, I think, is still Fallout 4. I love Fallout 4. It is so cool, and I can't wait for Fallout 76 because it's their first. Yeah, it's Fallout 76 because that's the vault that they. Have you ever heard of Fallout? You know what Fallout is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The vault that they come out of is Vault 76, and this is like a prequel to all of the other Fallout games because I think they're like one of the first dwellers to like emerge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
and
they're there before like the rest of the colonies, basically.
Right, and so your goal is to now team up with people because it's an online game. And build up America, build up the world again, and it looks really cool. I'm really excited for it. A lot of people are kind of ragging on it though because it has to be online and you have to have internet for it, and it kind of sucks. I was hoping that they would do like, you could either be online or not, but no.
That would be smart, but
they did it with Elder Scrolls and Elder Scrolls Online, and Sammy said that it wasn't that great.
That's more of what I want to like go into when I go into like open world is stuff like
fantasy stuff
like Skyrim kind of thing where you could like pick a class that you kind of want to be specific at and then build traits into that. That's like a strategy open world, so like I like that.
Well, Fallout's kind of like that.
I just imagine it was like a shooter game too.
No, it's weird. It's post-apocalyptic, and it when you're coming out of the vault or when you first appear in Fallout 4, you actually get to create your own character. Like in the mirror, you get to like mold your face however you want it. And it's
like
actually
a lot of games.
Well, yeah, but this one was cool. This is like 2000. This is 2015. It was really awesome the way they did it, and and then you have a special chart, which is like your dexterity. It's your strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. And so you have all these skills, and
I
at
would
the
put all of it in luck.
see, that's the thing though. At the beginning, you can put all of them in one, or you can spread them out, and then the game is affected by how you do that. So if you put none of them in intelligence and all of them in strength, you're basically like the Hulk, just running around punching shit, but you can't talk to anybody, and it's really funny. But I think I have almost 3 days worth of gameplay on that, and I haven't finished the main quest line yet because I'm just running around dicking around the whole time, just shooting everything I can find and finding all the loot.
For like all the platforms, or
yeah,
like okay.
Oh yeah, there. Bethesda's really funny about that, especially with Skyrim, because they just release it on everything. And there was a tweet, I think it was a tweet that Todd Howard put out. He was just like, "Stop." If you don't want us to port Skyrim to everything, stop buying it, because like people just got so mad. They're like, "Oh, why are you putting it on every platform?" And Todd Howard was just like, "You guys keep buying it, so we're gonna keep putting it out."
Capitalism.
But yeah,
that's fine. I didn't even realize Fallout was Bethesda.
Yeah,
I didn't. No, I'm just gonna repeat that. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that,
it is. Yeah, it is. It's Sorry, that was a bad sentence. Have you ever played Doom? They're Bethesda too.
I have, but I'm kind of a bitch. So those are one of the games that I can't play alone. So I'm not gonna.
Oh my god, Doom! Really?
Yeah, jump scares piss me off too
They're
much.
not jump scares though. There's not that many. Wait, which Doom? The newest one?
I don't know. I just know it falls under that category.
Nah, I don't know
like
about
Resident
that.
Evil games aren't even scary. Like I like playing Resident Evil games when I'm with someone else.
Bro, like I didn't know you were this much of a bitch. We should play.
Yeah, a lot.
We could start a Let's Play channel like back in the old days of YouTube and play horror games.
You could. I guarantee I would jump and like I start spazzing and I'm like and like I'll be running around, like especially in Resident Evil. I used to only play with my sister's ex-boyfriend now. But
Sal, this is a
I would
potential-
only play if he was there and we would just co-op it and that was it. And then whenever he'd leave, I'd just put it down. Like
this is a potential gold line, Sal. We could
the-
like set up a whole setup and like.
I didn't realize it was like this until like I got an Xbox for Christmas way back when I was in elementary school, right when it first came out. This will date it a little bit. I got it with Halo 2. Completely skipped Halo 1. Just went straight into Halo 2 with it, and a Spider-Man game, which was awesome. But I was playing Halo 2 and I was perfectly fine killing everything until I got to the flood. And then when I got to that part, like I couldn't beat it because there was so many jump scares and so many God. Like just because those ones were bad. Like the aliens were fine because they were like in your face fighting like normal human beings. But then the flood came through and they'd be crawling on the walls, jumping. Everything was poorly lit. And then the ones that had like the claw arms, you just turn around and they'd be there and like swipe, and I'm like, fuck this. And so like I just put it down, and eventually one of my neighbors, they found out that I had Halo 2, and like you know how in the old days you had to like hook up all the Xboxes and play like as Xbox
like
party
on a LAN.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
so like
I never did that, but good times.
Yeah. So I lived in a cul-de-sac, and there was a whole bunch of kids in that area, anywhere from the age group of where I was at.
Oh, in California.
Yeah.
Nice.
All the way up until like middle school. So, like, he found out about that. He helped me get past that part. Then I finished the game from that point on. And, yeah, that was the first instance where I was like, no. Like, I just can't do it. I just stopped because it was always a dark alley, and I'd be like, I'm not turning this corner. Something's going to happen.
Oh God. We could get every horror game ever.
No.
And make a whole YouTube channel. Sal, we'd be famous. I don't think you understand. Like, I know Let's Play channels are kind of outdone, and like everybody and their mother is doing one. But like you and I could,
like a niche.
Yeah, we could be the one that plays only horror games. I'm sure there's one that does that already. There's no way there isn't. But
Jesus,
I never played Halo.
You never played Halo?
I never had an Xbox. My first console. Wait, let me think about that. Okay. Technically, my first console was one of those little Namco joysticks, you know, that have like Pac-Man
Like
and Bosconian and all the Dig Dug and stuff.
Galaga.
Yeah, Galaga. Oh,
Dig Dug was my shit though.
those were.
I
I
love
fucking
playing
love
Dig
Dig Dug, bro.
I would
You
play
should-
that right now. Over all the games I have over there,
During my
I would play
bachelor-
Dig Dug.
During my bachelor party, we went to a video game cafe, and they had Dig Dug, and I just played that the whole time. Dig Dug is the shit. But what was the other one I played? I think it was Bosconia.
Did you ever play Rally X?
Is that the racing car game?
Yeah, where you puff smoke to stop other race cars from committing suicide and killing you.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, stop.
Yeah. Where they're just like,
You're like, why? Oh my god, why?
Oh man, after that joystick, the first console I had was a PS2, and so I was immediately indoctrinated into the PlayStation.
Nice.
So what was the first game I played? Oh, I gotta think back. There were 2 games, I think. One of them was Crash Bandicoot, and it was like Crash of the
Dope.
Titans. Do you remember that game?
I remember playing Crash Bandicoot when I was a kid,
Okay.
but like so far back that it's just it's gone.
Crash of the Titans was cool because it was like you could take control of monsters and fight as the monsters, and I fucking loved that game. I think I played that game through like 3 times. It was really cool. And then, what was the other one? Oh, Destroy All Humans. You ever hear that game?
No, but it's a common phrase, so I feel like I have. So
It's yeah.
I don't think it's not the game one though.
Destroy All Humans is you're just a little gray alien and you're on Earth preparing.
Oh, are you able to like pick up cows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking love that game. That
Okay.
game was my shit.
I also used to be scared of aliens though. Too.
Oh my god.
But only the
Sal,
long.
We should play Dead Space.
Only so that's why I didn't play that one.
It's like
so it's
two-
weird because it's not like Halo aliens because they're like very humanoid acting kind of
Right.
thing,
Mhm.
but gray aliens
It was
specifically.
a gray alien, yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't play it. Something about him just freaks me out. And like,
That's
that was
funny.
one time I was in here recently. I was watching Ancient Aliens
Okay.
and there was an episode that specifically had to do with abductions, and they kept showing pictures of gray aliens, and I was like, I can't sleep now.
You have no windows though, so you're cool.
Can't. They're aliens.
Well, yeah, but like they always come
Supposedly they just like beam a light through your
through, and then
fucking
you
house.
bust through the ceiling. See, you already have holes in the ceiling, so it
Fuck
won't be that
off.
hard.
Have to bust me through like 2 floors.
Didn't you told me about, and I'd watched it before you even said anything, but The Fourth Kind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah. I remember you telling me about that movie, and I
That-
was like, it was okay, and you were like, it was so scary, and I was just like,
Yeah,
it was okay, Sal.
no.
It wasn't that scary.
It was terrifying for me.
oh,
For
wow.
me, it was bad.
What about Fire in the Sky? You ever watch that one?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's an alien one, and it's a
Sounds so
it's,
disappointed.
it is also based on a true story,
Yeah.
and like, or maybe based on a true story, but like, that's a pretty scary one. It's really. I watched it, I think, when I was like 12 or something, and it's pretty good.
So
No,
like,
wait, that's not right. I think I got the VHS of it. So I was-
Jesus.
yeah, so I was like, damn, was it that long ago? Yeah, I think I was probably like 9 when I watched it, or maybe it was. I don't know. It was a long time ago. It was the VHS, so
Are you okay?
yeah.
You're,
Anyway,
like,
what were you saying?
overheating over there. It looks
Sorry,
like.
I did. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't even remember now. Oh, but yeah, it's like not all aliens, just like the ones that,
just the little tiny ones.
just the gray ones, like the
Oh,
gray
the-
ones with the big, the ones that you think of when you think of aliens,
Right. Well, then
not
you
the
can't-
scary
you can't,
video game ones.
Can't play Fallout then, because there's gray aliens in that one. They're just a small part, but they're definitely there.
Damn it, that's where my game will stop. I'm like, shit,
That's
I'm
funny.
done. Yeah, sucks. So stupid.
Remember VHSs, so?
Yeah, when you said VHS, my mind went straight to the Rugrats movie. And
I
how,
love that movie. Wait,
Yeah.
which one? Paris or the original?
honestly both, but the first one was the one that I went to because the VHS one was orange because Nickelodeon.
Yeah. And the part in the movie
iconic.
where Tommy like freaks out on Dill. Remember that part?
Oh yeah, and he leaves them to die with
Yeah,
monkeys.
that part is dark. Like you don't think about it until you're older.
And
It's
he's
like
like one.
I just remember
He's gonna beat his wife when he's older.
Oh my god! I just remember like as a kid, just thinking back on memories of that movie. There's just this like darkness. I remember just not feeling good when I watched that movie. There's just like this inner like despair.
Just like what?
But the other one,
The
Lost in
Paris.
Paris or whatever. I watch that one like every day. I love that movie.
I liked it because I liked Kimiko.
I love Kimiko. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was my favorite.
She was like a boss, like
Yeah.
Angelica was, but not a bitch.
Yeah. And I remember watching that tape because it was the VHS all the way to the end where they had the music video for Who Let the Dogs Out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I would always watch to the very end and watch that. Oh, those are good times. I had like the Jungle Book on VHS, and they had at the end of the VHS like how they made the Jungle Book, and I always watched that too. It always fascinated me.
I always liked watching the Lilo and Stitch one,
Oh,
and then like watching the music
that a
video for
VHS?
like I don't know if it was.
I think it was because it was a while ago.
I don't know.
It's like the aughts, not even the tens.
I really don't. I think that might have been during the time where it was like VHS and DVD kind of
Those
thing.
were the days.
Right. God, having a dual video player
The VHS knew that there was no way it would survive
without it. Yeah. Like fuck.
Oh god.
Yeah, but I used to just watch a Hawaiian roller coaster ride, and I try and like imitate the hula dancers.
Oh, good times.
Yeah,
I love Lilo and Stitch.
such a simple life.
They used to. That was. You know what? That was during like 2001 because they had the part where
9/11.
Well, no, that's yeah, exactly.
Oh, what?
Yeah, okay. So like in the movie, the part where they're flying the giant spaceship through the mountains and shit, you know, they originally had it flying through the city, and after the 9/11 happened, and they switched it, and they made it so that they were flying through the mountains. Or through the volcanoes or whatever. But yeah, like there's a video.
Same.
They actually released the video on it, like side by side comparisons, and I think they actually. Wait, was it a spaceship? It was either a spaceship or they had it.
Well, Stitch came down in like a. Yeah, and it was still like a tiny.
No, in the
escape
original. In the
spaceship.
original, I think they were flying a plane.
Oh.
Like they were actually flying a plane through a bunch of buildings, and it was just like, whoo, gotta change that.
Disney's a psychic monster.
Disney is a beautiful corporation, a beautiful corporate giant.
I don't mind too much if it becomes a monopoly.
I kind of do, simply because
I don't- I don't want it to own everything, but
they're getting there.
yeah.
They just bought
Yeah.
Fox.
Oh, someone. So there's a YouTuber that reviews like movie stuff. Her name's Grace. She's awesome. Look her up. But she talks about like the entertainment industry as a whole too, like music, TV side, not necessarily music. And she brought it up. She was like, "This is a very historic time." She was like, "This is the last summer box office for Fox," and that's when it hit me. I was like, "Wait."
Yeah. So
Whoa.
you'll never see the, well, I don't know if they'll do it, the logo. Da, 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 na, 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 na.
So what they're thinking they're gonna do, which this is why I'm kind of okay with Disney still, is they'll keep Fox as like an entity, like the Fox brand, but it'll just be owned by Disney.
So Disney will
And
make
then-
all the major decisions.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
any darker projects they could send to Fox.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily tied in with Disney. So Disney could still have their family friendly, image,
Right.
and then Fox could still keep the movies like Predator, which is I'm looking forward to that.
All of that started. Sorry, you continue.
Oh, I was just looking forward to it because that means they might be able to move the Marvel MCU over to that side,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it could get a little darker.
And so we can finally have a good Fantastic Four movie and a good like X-Men franchise.
I was thinking so we could start implementing like horror movies into the MCU
Oh yeah.
because
Like,
that'd be cool.
I know-
But that would be a really nice rated R
Venom
movie.
is still with Sony, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and they're only doing PG-13, aren't they?
I don't know if they released the rating yet because I knew it was supposed to be rated R, and then they thought about switching to PG-13 because they didn't think they'd get enough money from it.
From a
Yeah.
rated R Venom movie?
I think
Were they not paying attention to Deadpool and Logan?
Kent, the suits.
The
don't-
suits are
they,
stupid.
They don't watch the movies.
Oh my god.
They watch money.
well,
and
then they should know.
Yeah, but they're not necessarily looking at that. They're probably looking at their own industry kind of thing and their track
That's-
record.
That's
I mean,
silly.
Deadpool was like an anomaly in their eyes. It was a rated R superhero movie
Yeah, but
that made bank, but
I think they need to open up their eyes and be like, hey, you need to make it rated R.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Venom would be perfect. What I'm looking forward to is like if they do a Doctor Strange movie and made that a horror movie,
Nice.
like a psychedelic, mind twisty, inception-y, like
Would they do that? They wouldn't give that to Fox though, would they?
not too far. It'd still be Marvel's, but
Right.
they're saying like they could push it over into the Fox side if they wanted to, kind of
Mhm.
thing.
I don't
Let
think
them
they. I don't
produce
think they,
it,
I don't think they
or
would.
even
though.
split it off totally and then just have the MCU, Disney, and then kind of like how they own Pixar, but like you still see the Pixar logo,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
thing.
Yeah, I always thought Pixar was Disney, and I guess it is because that's all that.
They bought it out. It used to not be.
Yeah, okay. Because that's all that they ever. It's always paired with Disney. You never see
Mhm.
just a Pixar film and then no Disney.
Exactly. But I mean, like, you don't see that on Marvel movies. Like, you don't see the Disney castle. Like,
That's because yeah.
even though they're
I don't
owned
know
by
why
it.
that
So,
is. That's like.
like I said, I think they're gonna start trying to like distance themselves away from that so they can make more money on the
Mhm.
background without ever losing money because they're not family friendly all of a sudden.
They're doing well with. I mean, just go to Netflix. They're doing well with that.
They don't have to. They have the owning share of Hulu now.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's right. So now they're not gonna. Although I did read that the current shows on Netflix aren't gonna be affected by that,
Yeah.
which is good because that would piss a lot of people off.
Yeah. I think that won't get implemented until Disney launches their own streaming service.
I won't buy that.
I will, depending on what they put on it.
Mm,
They say it's going to be cheaper than Netflix.
I mean, it's
so I was like,
oh
ooh,
yeah, but cheaper than Netflix plus Netflix is more expensive than Netflix.
that's true, but
It's all more money, man. I can't do it. Internet's starting to become like cable TV.
you're starting to say that, but you also got to remember if you could share subscriptions, you may not have to pay for it anyway.
That's fair.
Like I have like at least 3 people mooching off me right
Yeah,
now.
I have to be honest. I'm actually not paying for my Netflix.
You
I'm just sharing it with my family. So
You're the
that's a
worst.
fair point. I didn't actually think of that.
You're like, oh well, paying for Netflix is still cheaper than paying for Netflix
I-
plus something else.
I personally wouldn't pay for 2 streaming services. Maybe if it was on like a bundle.
It really depends on what's on there.
If it was like an HBO, Netflix, Disney bundle, then I would buy it. If it was like a $20 a month thing, that would be worth it, I think.
So I have Hulu strictly for the fact that Rick and Morty and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was on there.
You have Hulu for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I did at the time because they
Oh.
put out the show right after it comes out on TV.
Oh,
So like I wanted to watch it and not pay fucking $50 a month for cable.
I see.
But then I have Netflix for like the Netflix Marvel TV shows and then also some of the Netflix originals plus just regular sitcoms.
I didn't know Rick and Morty was on Hulu.
It was.
I just look it up on the internet.
There's also on South Park is also on there too.
I should just give you the names of the websites that I use to find those shows because you don't need to be paying money for that. I know it's a disappointment.
It's okay.
I'll just send you to the link.
Okay, thanks.
The problem with the websites, they're free streaming websites, and sometimes they're a little glitchy, but overall they're pretty worth it. And it switches though, because like people are always trying to shut them down.
Oh, so like the URL always changes.
Yeah, so it used to be like 123movies.com.
I use the same one as you then.
And then it was I don't use that one anymore because it doesn't work as well. Now I use like I forgot what it's called. It's like xmovies8.io or something.
That's a porn site.
No, that's a different thing. I know. Like somebody was like, "This is the thing," and I was like, "No." And then I looked it up, and it's basically 123 movies. They just jump around to stay out of the way of the feds. But yeah, so you don't need to be paying for shows, bro. It's gonna go on the internet.
You're wrong, but okay.
I'm not.
No, I get it. That's what I did. I used to just download HBO for like 2 months when Game of Thrones would come out, and then get rid of my subscription immediately after the season finale.
It only works with one email though, doesn't it?
No, not like the free trial.
Oh,
Like I would just pay for 2 months worth and then cancel before the next month was
I
billed,
see.
kind of thing.
I guess
But then
that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be a bad deal.
it's not the worst. Yeah.
I still would rather pay no money and just go on the website.
Agreed. Yeah. So that's what I did when I was deployed. That's how I watched season 7. Was like HBO wouldn't work out there, like on their Wi-Fi servers or whatever. And so I couldn't get in on my HBO Now app kind of thing. I was like, fuck. So I found a website, but unfortunately I had to wait like a day and a half sometimes for them to upload it. I was like, I hate you guys.
Sucks.
Yeah, because I saw all the spoilers every time.
Nice. What was I going to say? Oh, my roommates, when we lived in our first house in Manhattan, I think we tried doing a thing where, like, I would get the 30-day free trial of HBO, and then somebody else would get the free trial, and then we just have HBO for 3 months for free. And so that was a fun time. That was a lot more boring of a story than I expected it to be.
Yeah, but it's not a bad plan, and then you could just keep making new emails and just keep getting HBO for free.
Yeah, that's the thing. You just keep, like, pumping out the junk emails and then deleting them and
never touching them ever again.
If HBO was smart, they would pair it to, like, the IP address. I probably shouldn't be giving them ideas, but
yeah,
there it is,
HBO.
You can have
buy
that
a new
one
laptop.
You can have that one for free. See, yeah, we could stimulate the whole economy because then people would just buy new laptops.
Already completely stagnant because I
and-
realize that's stupid.
Yeah.
You would boost HBO because they'd be like, yeah, fuck buying a new laptop. I'll just pay the subscription.
Yeah. Exactly.
In the long run, a laptop would be cheaper. That was loud.
That's going to pick up. Oh, there it is. Yep. Good job. Stop.
That?
Stop, yes.
Oh, it did pick up.
Oh my god, yeah. It's a sound, and that's what the microphones are for.
Fuck you. Oh, Jesus. What do I want for dinner?
Tonight? Have you not had dinner yet?
Are you yelling at me because I asked a question?
Well, I mean, it's already 9/11. Never forget. And
We have brought that up like 4 times in this podcast.
This is our 9/11.
Terrible.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I was thinking Chick-fil-A, but I think they're closed now. I somehow
it's
got
Sunday,
addicted
so-
to
oh,
the,
shit, it's Monday.
It's
Never
definitely
mind.
Monday.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They might still be open till like 11.
I'm going to look it up real quick because if they're... I have a feeling they close at 10.
Maybe.
So...
I'm not entirely sure.
If they are, we're going to end this.
Oh, my God.
Whoop, whoop. All right, yeah, we're ending it. It closes at 10.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I think we're coming up to it.
It says Labor Day might affect these hours.
Is there
I hate that they don't tell me.
Doesn't that
for
suck?
sure.
Like, how does it affect them, Google?
It's Chick-fil-A. They're only closed for God. So, that's awesome. Oh, so yeah, I just looked at my phone for all that. That's why I brought up Starcraft earlier, was because I was watching.
God.
Yeah, we're going to end it on how we started and hit in the middle.
Beginning, middle, and end. Starcraft. All right.
You're jumping through. It's going to seem like we're always talking about it.
Let's just give it a Starcraft
And by the end
episode.
of it, and the reason I brought up Starcraft.
Oh my God.
Oh, I hope at least one person winds up doing that.
Oh, Starcraft, I hate that. Middle. Oh my God, they're still talking about it. What about the end? Oh God, it's still there.
It's finally over. An hour straight. And it sounded like I just got carried away. Just like, and that's why I brought up StarCraft.
So anyway.
So it was because I was watching a YouTube video of competitive players playing StarCraft. So I'd be like, oh, that's how you play smart. I just wanted a head start in the game. It was a stupid story. I'm so glad it waited to the end to say it all.
Okay, so
That's the show, folks.
that was great. Yeah. So yeah, this is wow. 3 episodes, man. We've come so far. And I'm definitely gonna try to get it up before. I think it was like 10 o'clock when I uploaded the last video, and nobody saw it because everybody is asleep. The people who even watch it. So
And then immediately,
yeah, I'm definitely gonna
the algorithm or
upload
whatever.
this one like at noon or something, hopefully. But
I gotta get one of those robotic arms that just periodically presses down, and I'm just gonna have it on repeat on my laptop, and then however long the video is, like an hour.
set up like a playlist queue and just queue it 100 times.
Okay.
Yeah. There you
I mean, I
go.
don't use my laptop. I'll just mute it and put it off in the
My
corner
God.
and just like punish it.
We're gonna make it big by cheating.
I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Why did he view it 3,000 times?
I'd put us on the map, man. YouTube would be like, yeah, YouTube would be like, Jesus, this guy really likes these guys.
So I'm like, oh, I understand.
He's got the same name as one of the guys that is on the podcast. That's
Coincidence.
weird. Yeah, total coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Don't break that mic.
Don't break that. We're ending it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, we're ending it. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you guys next week. Bye. Wow. Right.